Okay guys, today's video I am going to discuss regarding emulsions. Emulsion. So here I will discuss the definition, how to identify, what are the physical stability of emulsion and preparation. In my next video I will discuss regarding the theories of emulsification. So first we will see definition. So definition of emulsion is, it is a thermodynamically unstable system. It is a thermodynamically unstable system which contain at least two immiscible liquids in which one liquid is dispersed as globules in another liquid. So this is the definition of the emulsion. Okay, I am repeating again. Emulsion is a thermodynamically unstable system containing two immiscible liquids in which one liquid is dispersed as a globules in another liquid. So this is regarding the definition of emulsion. So next, if you see the types, fine emulsion, multiple emulsion and micro emulsion. So based on the particle size, so fine emulsion means the globule size will be 0.25 to 25 micrometers. Micro emulsion means the globule size will be 0.01 micrometers. So multiple means emulsion in emulsion. For example, oil in water in oil emulsion, water in oil in water emulsion. These are multiple emulsions. Okay. So now we will see the identification. How to identify the type of emulsion, because we have basically two types of emulsions, that is oil in water and water in oil. So oil in water means the dispersion medium will be the water and dispersed phase will be oil. Whereas in water in oil, the dispersion medium will be oil and the dispersed phase will be water. Okay. So here the dispersed phase will be dispersed as a globules into the dispersion medium. So now we will see the identification of emulsion. So to identify emulsion, we have four tests: dye test, dilution test, conductivity test, and lastly cobalt chloride test. So these are the four tests we are going to use to identify emulsion. Nothing but either the emulsion is of oil in water or water in oil. So to identify that, we are using dye test, dilution test, conductivity test and cobalt chloride test. Okay, so now we will see one by one. So if you see the first one, that is dye test. So what is the principle here is, we are going to consider that in which portion the dye, whatever the dye you are adding to the emulsion is more soluble, that will be considered as the type of emulsion. Okay, so in which medium it is solubilizing more. For example, if you take amaranth blue, if you see amaranth and methylene blue, and amaranth, so not blue, amaranth dye and methylene blue are used for the identification of oil in water. Why? Because these two dyes are more soluble in water. So if you observe this emulsion, if you come, for example, imagine this emulsion is in this beaker. Okay, so here oil will be like a globules and water will be the continuous phase. The continuous phase will be observed as more color due to the solubilization of the dye. So by this way you can say that it is a oil in water type. For the identification of water in oil, also we are going to use Sudan red. We are going to use for the water in oil. So this is regarding the dye test. Next is dilution test. So here which original dispersion medium and all we know already. So in this case we are going to add a dispersion medium. We are going to add any one dispersion medium, either oil or either water. If there is no separation, okay, so based on the separation of the phases we will identify the emulsion. For example, why there is no separation means the liquids, whatever the dispersion medium you have added and whatever the dispersion medium originally is with your preparation will be mixed each other. Okay, so for example, you imagine you have an emulsion here in this beaker, you are adding water here. There is no separation. Whatever the water you are adding, here it is mixing. Means what is the meaning here? It is oil in water type. Because here as water is more, it is mixing with our added water. If whatever same you are adding water here, but there is a separation of two layers means it is water in oil. Because oil is in more content. Already you know oil and water cannot be mixed. So that there will be a separation of layers. In this way you can determine the emulsion by using the dilution test. Next, conductivity test. So in this test what you are going to do is you have to take a beaker or apparatus and you have to keep, first you place your emulsion in this and you keep electrodes into this. If there is the passage of current, you can say it is oil in water. If there is no current, you can say water in oil, because already we know perfectly the water is having the capacity to conduct the electricity. Okay, so in this way we can say it is which type of emulsion by using the conductivity method. Next is cobalt chloride. So you take a filter paper, you keep in cobalt chloride. Okay, you take a filter paper, dip in cobalt chloride, dry it and keep in emulsion. If the color change is pink to blue, you can say it is oil in water. Okay, so otherwise it is water in oil. So this is the how to identify the emulsion by using the cobalt chloride test. So these are the 4 identification tests for the emulsion. Next we will see the physical stability. So there are some problems while storing the emulsion. So what are that problems means? Creaming. First one is creaming. Second one is coalescence or breaking. And next is phase inversion. Okay, so now we will see one by one. Creaming. So what is creaming means? Already we know the solid particles are going to suspend in the liquid medium. In creaming, whatever the solid particles are there will accumulate and form like a layer either at bottom. Imagine this is a container containing emulsion. In creaming what is happening is the globules or the dispersed particles will form like a layer at surface or at bottom. At surface or at bottom. So based on the accumulation of these particles either at surface or bottom, this creaming can be 2 types, upward creaming and downward creaming. If the particles are accumulating at the surface, it is called as upward creaming. It is called as upward creaming, and this can be observed in oil in water. This can be observed in oil in water. Why? Because oil in water means the oil globules are going to suspend into the water. Okay, so compared to the water, that solid particles density will be low, so that the particles will come at the top, that is surface. That's why it is called as upward creaming. Next, if the particles are accumulating like a layer at the bottom, it is known as downward creaming, and it can be observed in the water in oil, because here water density is more, water is present as a particle, so that it will come at the bottom. That's why it is downward creaming. Okay, so now we'll see the prevention also, how to prevent this creaming. What you have to do is, either you reduce the particle size or you increase viscosity or you reduce the density difference between the dispersion and dispersal medium. Okay, so by doing these three you can prevent the creaming. Next is coalescence or breaking. So when the emulsion is stored at a period of time, the globules will fuse with each other and form like a big globule. Okay, so small globules will fuse each other and form like a big globule. It is called as coalescence. Formation of big globule by the fusing of small globules with one another, it is called as coalescence. While forming this big globule, there is a break or there is a destroy of emulsifier film around the globule. As the destroying of emulsifier film is happening, it is called as breaking. It is called as breaking. So this is the coalescence and breaking. Okay, and next is phase inversion. It is simple. The oil in water emulsion will converted into the water in oil, or in vice versa. Water in oil converted into the oil in water. This is regarding the physical instability of the emulsions: creaming, coalescence and breaking, and phase inversion. And here phase inversion can be prevented by increasing the phase volume ratio. By increasing the phase volume ratio, you can prevent this phase inversion. Okay, so now last topic, we will see the preparation. So there are three methods for the preparation of emulsion: dry gum method, wet gum method, bottle method. Okay, so dry gum, wet gum and bottle method. So here the oil, water and gum ratios are important. In dry gum method, 4:2:1. 4 parts of oil, 2 parts of water and 1 part of gum. In wet gum also, 4 parts of oil, 2 parts of water and 1 part of gum. Then what is the difference? If you see in case of dry gum, how you will prepare means, first you have to mix oil and gum together. So it will be the oil phase, then water aqueous phase. So first, after mixing of oil phase and gum, you are going to add the water. So first it is in dry process. That's why it is called as dry gum. Whereas if you see wet gum, you are going to mix water and gum first. So the gum will be wetted with the water, so that it is called as wet gum method. And later you are going to add the oil. Okay. And next, bottle method, if you see, it is similar to the dry gum method, but the process is carried out in one bottle, so that it is called as the bottle gum method. So this is regarding the definition, identification, stability and preparation methods for the emulsion. In my next video, you can see the theories of emulsification.